Hey sis, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to choose the perfect foundation, how to shade match, how to just really be a pro at choosing a foundation that works for you. So if you are interested, then just continue to watch. Alright sis, so I'm going to get right into it. The first thing that you are going to need to figure out is what your skin tone is. Not your undertone, your actual skin tone. So you could either be a fair, a light, a medium, or a deep. So for me, you guys know off the bat, I'm a chocolate melanin queen, okay? So I am definitely a deep skin tone. This should be self-explanatory. You should be able to look in the mirror and just tell what you are. You're either fair, light, medium, or deep. So the next thing you want to do is identify your undertones. So your skin tone and your undertone are two different things. Your skin tone is what you initially see. Your undertone is that pigment underneath your skin tone. So if you're looking at me right now, I have absolutely nothing on my skin, guys. I am a deep complexion, a deep tone, but my undertone, and you'll mostly figure out what your undertone is in your T-zone, like your highlighting area. So underneath your eyes, your forehead, where the light hits your face, you'll be able to really see what kind of undertone you have. So for me, I have a yellow undertone, or another word for that is a warm undertone. I actually can get away with neutral because in some places on my skin, for example, my cheek area, I have more of a red undertone, but I always go with where the light hits my face. So I could really see what my undertone is in my T-zone. So I am considered a warm undertone. So like I mentioned, your undertone is the color underneath the surface of your skin tone. So you have three options. It could be either cool, warm, or neutral. So if you are a cool undertone, you're gonna have red, pink, or blue undertones, and you will be able to see this in natural lighting. If you are a warm undertone, you're going to have more of yellow, golden undertones. And if you are neutral, you are going to have a mixture of the two. So one tip to really figure out your undertone is to look at your veins, guys. So I don't know if you guys could see, I'm gonna try and my veins really be popping, but I have green, bluish veins. So depending on what your natural vein color is, you can really determine what kind of undertone you are. So for me, my veins look green, so I am more of a warm undertone. If you look at your veins and they look more blue or red, you are a cool undertone. And if you have a mixture of the two in your veins, you are a neutral undertone. So green for yellow, blue/purple for cool undertones, and a mixture of the two for a neutral undertone. So why is figuring out your undertone important? Because when you are going to pick out a foundation, you are going to see a few foundations that may seem like it works for you, but there's gonna be one or two that is just off, like it's just not working with you, and that is because of the undertone. The undertone really determines your perfect match. All right, so after you figure out your undertone, you're gonna figure out your skin type. So what are you? Are you oily? Are you dry? Are you combination? Are you normal? You have to figure out what type of skin type you have. Me personally, I have combination skin. So I get oily in my T-zone area and the perimeter of my face is really dry. So I tend to go for mattifying. I really like mattifying foundations. I can also get away with a natural foundation. So just something that is very natural. It doesn't have a mattifying effect, but it doesn't have a hydrating or overly oily effect to my face. It's just a very natural foundation. So figuring out what your skin type is the next step. You will know what your skin type is. I'm sure you know, especially if you have a skincare routine or you wash your face every day, you know how your skin reacts or how it is. If you wash your face and your skin is just super dry after you wash your face, you have dry skin. You have dry skin. If you wash your face and then after, you know, a few minutes your face is oily, you're considered oily. If you go throughout the day and you realize that in only certain areas your face is oily, you have combinations. So really figuring out what your skin type is the next step to choosing the right foundation. All right, so now that you know all of the basic steps, the next thing you want to do is choose the foundation. So I have a few options of foundation here, and some of them are not my match, and I have them in my stash because I bought them and thought they were the ones, but they just weren't working out for me. And if you notice, I do not use them in my tutorials because they just don't work for me. So I'm gonna show you exactly why I don't use them and the mistake I made buying them. So the 4 foundations I'm gonna use today is the MAC Studio Fix Fluid. This is in the shade NW53. Then I have the NARS All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation. This one is in the shade New Orleans. And then I have the Huda Beauty Full Filter Luminous Matte Foundation. This one is in Mocha. And then I have my Revlon Color Stay Foundation. This is actually, it even says on the packaging too that it's combination oily skin. Like, I love the fact that this tells you what kind of skin type it's for. But I have mine in the shade 600. So I'm gonna swatch all of them and really show you guys the difference between all the shades. And tip, I forgot to tell you guys this. When you are swatching, you want to avoid swatching on your hands. My hand does not match my face right now. My hand is a much different complexion. Like, your hand is not going to give you that perfect match. So the best places to really match foundation on your skin is right here on your jawline. This is actually the darkest part of my face, which is where you want to match. I wouldn't match here in my T-zone just because that is my highlighting area. That is where the light naturally hits. That's where I'm a bit lighter in my complexion. So I always want to match where the darkest part of my face is, if that makes any sense. You could also match on your neck. I like to say to match from your jawline here down to your neck. That's a good spot. Also, if you would like, you could also match on your chest, but sometimes your chest could be a little off as well. So definitely I would recommend swatching on your jawline down to your neck. All right, so I'm gonna start off with the MAC Studio Fix Fluid. So this is the MAC. Next, I'm going in with my Huda Beauty. Then I'm gonna go in with my NARS. And then last but not least is my Revlon. All right, so these are the 3 swatches. So I'm gonna go through each one and tell you guys what I really think about them. So the first one was the MAC. So backstory, I actually went in to get a swatch test. This was actually my first MAC foundation, first of all. So I went in to get matched, and the girl that matched me to this shade. And in the store, I honestly agreed with her. I'm like, yeah, this looks, you know, like my perfect match. Y'all know how the lightings in these stores be like. They be doing us wrong. When I went home, guys, I was like, this is not my shade. This is a red finish, a red undertone. So this is definitely not going to match. I looked like an Oompa Loompa. It just was not working for me. And you guys could tell off the back that that won't work for me. So that is an example of someone who has more of a red undertone. They can get away with this foundation. So the next one I swatched was the Huda Beauty. And honestly, I can use the Huda Beauty. I've actually used it before. It is more of an orangey undertone, which orange still kind of falls in the warm, but it's a bit too orange for me, so I don't really use it that much. However, it is warm, it's just not my shade. So I still got the undertone right. The shade, I was just a little off. The next one I swatched was the NARS. Now the NARS is it still has a red undertone, but it's very light for me. And the last one is my Revlon. So this one here is definitely going to match me, especially when I blend it out. It just blends into my skin. So I'm gonna blend them out and really show you guys how they all come out. So I blended all of them out. As you could see, the Revlon literally just blended into my skin. You could barely see it. The next one was the NARS, which you could still see. It's a bit orangey on me. The next one was the Huda Beauty, which again is a little orange, and then the MAC is too red, like you can tell, especially on the neckline here. So really understanding, I think undertones is honestly the #1 thing. Just know what your undertone is. Once you know your undertone, you can really narrow down what foundation will work for you. I've honestly learned my skin so much that I can go into a store and look at a foundation and know what works for me and what won't work for me. So it takes a lot of just really learning your skin to figure out like how your foundation will work for you, if it will work, if it won't. A lot of practice and just really learning your skin. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this off, and then I'm going to actually put each foundation on and show you guys really closely how it looks. All right, so I'm going to do a wear test. I'm gonna put on all 4 foundations and just really show you guys the difference between all 4. So I'm gonna start off with the MAC on one side and the NARS on the other side. Also, I forgot to mention about oxidizing. So whenever you hear that a foundation oxidizes, that means that the foundation changes color over time. It may get darker or more orangey. It just changes color. So it's not the initial color that you apply onto your skin. So this is the MAC on me. So very red finish. Honestly, I can still use this foundation, especially when I do my highlighting. I just know how to make a foundation work, but initially this is not my shade. So this is the NARS. It's very orangey, like I was saying. So as you can see, this is more of a red undertone or red finish. This is more of an orangey finish. I really don't like how this looks. I feel like on camera you guys are thinking that looks really good on you, but I'm looking in the mirror and I'm looking at my chest as well. You could see this is definitely not my shade. And then this is really orange. I'm gonna take this off and do the other 2. So that is Huda Beauty, and I'm actually shocked because that doesn't look too bad. I'm gonna show you guys with my neck as well. So that is the Huda Beauty. I feel like when I tested the Huda Beauty out, it was in the summer, which is something I completely forgot to mention. In the summer, most of us do get a bit darker, so our winter foundation may not be the same as our summer foundation. So I think when I tried this one on, it was in the summer and I was like, nah, this is too light. But now that it's winter, it looks like it is working for me. Yes. So this is an example of a foundation that you can use in different seasons, I guess. So this may be a good foundation in the winter, but in the summer, it may not work for you. All right, so that's the Huda, and this is the Revlon. Revlon is looking real nice on me. Huda is looking real nice on me. I kind of underestimated Huda. I thought it would be a bit off, but like I said, different foundations for different seasons. So I showed you guys the difference between certain foundations. Right off the bat, the NARS and the MAC look like it would work for me, but in the end, they just don't work for me. So really understanding your skin tone, your undertone, and your skin type is really important when choosing a foundation, guys. I cannot stress that enough, and I feel like undertone is the main thing. So make sure that you guys study your skin, make sure you know what your undertone is. You are going to have to go through some foundations just to find that perfect foundation, which is how it goes, but it is a process, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.